Okay, so I need to correct the record on a few things. Well, one thing actually in particular, because I know that if anybody watches this, I'll get some pushback on it. My headphones are actually Krakens, so they're Razer Krakens. So somebody out there is going to be like, "Oh, you dumbass! You said it was Turtle Beach." Yeah, no, that's I was completely wrong, and I screwed it up like 2 minutes into the 2 minutes into the intro video. So, but anyway, I guess basically what I wanted to talk about today was the whole Joe Rogan thing. Now, I think anybody who kind of knows what's going on realizes that uh, the whole issue with Joe Rogan is they say it's because he was spreading sort of misinformation on the jab, so to speak. Um, Obviously, this is all just a political hit job because some people, I would imagine, certain networks might not like the amount of traffic that he gets. He tends to divert attention away from a lot of people and towards himself. Oh, by the way, that's Tallulah. Anyway, so yeah, yeah. The whole thing with Joe Rogan is, I mean, he's a natural. He's a natural conversationalist. He has on and his ability to speak with really anyone who comes in, sits down in his studio, and just you can just sit down and start talking to him. I was listening to a podcast earlier with a another comedian, Dave Smith. I don't know if you know him or not, but if you don't, you should check him out. Anyway, he was talking about the whole ordeal, and he was saying that basically, you go in and you get on his podcast like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm on Joe Rogan. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna get on the Joe Rogan Experience, which at this point I think is the last I've been hearing has been like upwards of 11 million hits per episode. So yeah, anybody who goes on Joe Rogan Experience is gonna uh, be a little starstruck. I'd imagine. Even just meeting Joe Rogan, I would imagine, would be a little bit debilitating at first, at least until you start talking to him. But he was saying that you get in the room and you start talking to him. It's just like talking to a normal dude. Obviously, a dude who's got fuck you money, and you know all kinds of crazy shit around the studio. I think he's got a flamethrower, one of Elon Musk's flamethrowers. Anywho, yeah. So he's just a he's just a normal dude, and he just resonates with normal people. I don't listen to him all the time. He's got a bunch of people on that I've never heard of, and you know, I don't know. There's probably a lot of people on there I should be listening to. Uh, but yeah, so he just kind of gravitates. People just kind of gravitate toward him. I think people who've got their wits about them, people who kind of, you know, who crave authenticity, and he kind of scratches that itch, so to speak. Now, for whatever reason, well, I know whatever reason anybody who watches this and I myself know what the reason would be, but the whole compilation video of him using certain words that ought not be said, banned words, words which are a taboo in today's climate. Um, Obviously, all taken out of context. Um, they weren't getting any traction. Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, whoever the hell else was trying to get all their stuff off of Spotify. Um, Apparently, those names weren't big enough. I know like two Neil Young songs. And keep in mind, I'm only, I'm 29 years old, and I tend not to stray out of my whole, sphere of musical interests. And Neil Young, unfortunately, does not fall into that. Or fortunately. From what I understand, he makes some pretty good stuff. Joni Mitchell I've heard the name, you know. Um, but apparently, them taking their shit off of Spotify wasn't quite enough. So, yeah. Somebody, I heard the name. There was a was it Patriot Takes? I want to say it was Patriot Takes, who is also affiliated with Midas Touch. I don't know if anybody knows who Midas Touch is, but they are Midas Touch is, I believe, a PAC for the Democratic Party. So definitely no political incentives there. But they dug up. I don't know how many hours of Rogan's shit they had to go through to find this, but they found all these instances taken out of context of him saying the N word because obviously, you can't really cancel somebody for vaccine misinformation if they've got both sides. Sanjay Gupta comes on and tells them, you probably should get vaccinated. And Joe's like, no, I don't feel the need to. I'm a healthy guy. I exercise every day. I eat right. And, I assume he does. I've seen his Instagram. He eats elk and broccoli and all that shit. A lot better than I do. I've got a jar of peanut butter sitting here on my desk, just ready for me to just eat it whenever. So, yeah. I mean, it's all just, it's a not so covert attempt to obviously cancel Joe Rogan, but I don't know. I don't know what the whole goal is, I mean, if you can't argue with somebody, I guess that's the whole thing. If you can't argue with somebody, then you might as well just get rid of them, That's the whole deal. So, and my whole thoughts on the situation, obviously he came out with a video that there was a whole, I'll address both videos. He came out with one video, it was about 9 minutes long, that basically he just he apologized for having differing opinions on vaccine mandates and stuff. Apologies for the camera focus, by the way. This thing's ancient. Yeah, so first of all, I don't understand why he would apologize for that. I don't even know if I'd consider an apology, but he promised to make changes to how he books people, have differing opinions consecutively, one after the other, which Sanjay Gupta was, a couple months ago? And Dr. Robert Malone, and who was the other one? McCullough? I mean, they weren't, it's not like, he had Sanjay Gupta on 10 years ago, and then Robert Malone and McCullough were just yesterday, But anyway, yeah, he said he wants to do some restructuring and stuff, and in my mind, I'm just like, dude, it's your podcast. Do whatever you want. You're just a guy who likes to talk to people, and it just so happens that these people have differing opinions on things which fall into their field of expertise. So, restructuring around what certain narratives might ideally be by the powers that be is it seems nonsensical to me because you can't give an inch because they'll take a mile. It doesn't stop with an apology, and you can see that with the most recent hit piece. Obviously, I was talking about the whole N-word compilation, and he comes out with probably a 5-minute apology for that, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm not racist. If you have to come out and say you're not racist, you've obviously done some shit wrong." Well, no, you didn't, because you can't apologize for other people taking you out of context. That defeats the whole purpose of you really saying anything. You might as well just fucking quit your podcast if you're going to do that, because you can take, I've probably said some shit already. This is my second goddamn video. I've probably said some shit already you can take out of context and make me look like a piece of shit. A real piece of shit. A big one. Big steamy one. So, yeah, apologizing for other people taking you out of context is just, it doesn't resonate. And it doesn't gain you any respect, and it gains you no quarter with those who are giving you all this grief. So, I'm fine with him acknowledging that it was wrong for him to even use the word, even though, having a word that you just absolutely cannot say because of the color of your skin seems off to me. I'm not really aware of any other words that get the same treatment? If there are, please let me know. But yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just it's a big mess that really just needs to be let go and blow over. You know, if I had any advice for Joe Rogan, and obviously, look at me. You know, I'm just sitting here in my living room with my dog. Middle class guy, lucky enough to own a house and a car. That's me. I'm no Joe Rogan, but as a listener, I would just tell him, you do you, bro. Keep being Joe Rogan. That's all you need to do. And that's all the people come to you for. That's all the people listen to you for. You're just Joe Rogan. And you talk to cool people. So, anyway, I don't really know if I have all that much else to say. There's not really a whole lot else to go over. So, yeah, I've got a lot of other stuff I want to talk about. But I'm going to let this one stew, considering this is, only my second video after the first. So, yeah, we'll just let this one stew. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do one the next day. Maybe I'll do one the day after that. Maybe I'll do one a month from now. I don't know. We'll see. So, but like I said in the intro video, this is just kind of something that I wanted to do to get a feel for it. And hey, if I pick up some likes and followers along the way, hey, that's cool, dude. Got to get that dopamine rush. Got to get those endorphins flowing. So, got to get those likes up. Rookie. Can't be sticking with these rookie numbers. So, anywho, that's it for me. So, yeah, until the next one. Peace.